Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Welcome to Conversations We Don't Have, Escaping Jezebel's Web. And I am your host, Kasira Elvie, a.k.a. Lady K. So, this is a faith-led healing center podcast. It is created for women and men who are tired of pretending they are okay, while silently struggling with cycles they fully don't even understand themselves. Here, we can talk about the conversations many people avoid: unhealthy relationships, emotional bondage, motherhood, fatherhood struggles, repeated patterns, spiritual confusion, and the moments we question ourselves, but rather say out loud. This show is led by the Holy Spirit. It is shaped by real life experiences, and it is grounded in truth. Sometimes we're going to challenge our thinking, sometimes we're going to confirm it, and sometimes we're going to just lovely correct it. Not with judgment, but with wisdom, honesty, and healing facts. Escaping Jezebel's web isn't about blaming a person. It's about recognizing the patterns, breaking free from the manipulation, control, and self-betrayal, and choosing growth, clarity, and freedom. This is a space of transparency, accountability, and restoration. These are the conversations we don't have. Until now, let's go talk about them. What up, world? It's your girl, Kasira Elvie, or Lady K. I am super glad to have you on Conversations We Don't Have, Escaping Jezebel's Web. Now, I was here last month, and I'm on here every second and fifth Saturday. So I promise you all, I'm going to bring back up why I decided to give that title a little bit more, because it'll be by that time, by my third show. And then I can just really tell some people that haven't tuned in and know why. They're like, girl, what's the Jezebel about? But maybe the big part is Conversations We Don't Have. And today, my title, welcome Zelda. I hope I say Miss Robinson. Welcome. But let me tell you, really today is all about, I had this title, I already kind of talked about it on another show, but my stuff is talking about how being blessed but tired. Baby, I've been getting blessings after opportunities after opportunities, and life has still been lifing. So please, if you can relate, make sure you put these in the comments, and I'm going to apologize before it even happened. I'm bad with names, and my name is Kasira, and that's bad because I have a difficult name to pronounce at times. So please forgive me, and I'm going to slow down now. But I know I cannot be the only one. Right? I'm telling you, I'm launching my network. I have the opportunities like the Female Solutions, right? I have that. I still have opportunity of doors of starting my own non-profit organization. I'll talk a little bit about more of that later. But all of these good things are happening. But at the same time, it's like, how can I say? Well, all of that good stuff is happening at the same time. I'm in court. I'm fighting an eviction. And not because I owe taxes, owe rent. It's because of somebody else's decision. I got some scoop on that. We'll talk about that too later on down the line. But also, I'm dealing with family tension. I'm navigating motherhood. I'm going to therapy trying to heal, and I'm still leading. I'm a community activist. I'm still a community. We live in Kankakee County. And so if any of you have watched the news in Illinois, Kankakee, we had a tornado storm also hit Indiana, and we are going through a lot. But let me tell you this, for me, I was in school in Carroll Stream, and my youngest daughter was out here with my friend. I live out here, and so they witnessed it. And so when I came back, and they was literally showing me softballs of hell. And the videos are so crazy. So right now, keep us in your prayers. If you want to donate, you can definitely contact me. And I can give you information on who you can contact to or where you want to donate to. You can contact me. I'm at the bottom of the screen. So with that being said, I want to say, even though we're still a mess, a lot of people's cars was totaled. I mean, dents, all windows were broken. And I look back and I still think when I say I'm blessed, I'm still tired, I'm blessed and I still go through things. If my car was here, it would get damaged and I wouldn't have no money to really get it done, to get it fixed, any of that, because I see that talking to some people that their own car insurance is not helping them, or they say they don't even qualify for any for anything. So when I think about that, my kids was here in the midst of the storm, but they was with a friend that was able to protect them. And I was out of there. So the only thing that happened to me was my living room window was broke. Now, it wasn't, I've got a double storm window, so it was the first layer of a window. And guess who got to pay for that? My apartment complex. Didn't have to come out of my pocket. So in the midst of the storm, it still didn't cause me too much of a lack. And I thank God for that. Matter of fact, I was in school and I get paid to go to school. So I didn't lack anything, even though I was in the midst of the storm. And me saying that to some people right now, even speaking to myself and bringing back that remembrance for me, is that we can still be protected. And even if, like my window, God making a way to make sure my window was being replaced, didn't hurt my pockets. So it's things like that. One of the things I also want to bring up, because this is my platform, it saddens me that I watch the news and I continuously see, and I'm not racist, by the way, let me put that out there, but I have to bring points, facts. You can watch it. You can go back and YouTube it and find it, whatever. Each individual that has been on the news for these storms have been our lovely white Caucasian people. It is unfair to me, in my opinion, that a lot of our African American families, farmers, they have been affected and no one stepped out to speak to them. No one stepped out to say, what is it that you need, but our own community. And it's sad to say again, brown, because our Hispanics too. So our brown community, we have been sticking together, and not saying my Caucasian people neither, but I'm just saying what you see on TV, it's deeper than that and bigger than that. And it's sad that everyone doesn't get recognition on how they can get help. So I just want to bring that out there, bring that attention to y'all, that it bothers me. I have not seen one chocolate brown skin individual speak about the devastation that they went through, or the fear that they went through, or how our brown community are getting together, gathering up things. And so I just wanted to bring that out there, you all. We have been affected. We all society needs to stop still putting us separately, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Separately, right? Because normally we get on news, that's what you see. And if you put one of us on there, you get the person that probably can't even represent us right to talk. Would you still, to me, this is all my personal opinion, by the way. Let me say that again. I have to put that out there. It's not fair. It's not fair. But anyway, so I just want to go ahead and thank you all. And I just want to go back into talking about the things I went through, because for me, I normally try to be prepared for everything. And it was guilt, because all the pressure of life and things that I have not experienced, it wasn't like I was depressed, but it was some days I want to shut down. Like I literally want to shut down. I didn't want to do anything. All I was able to do was I got up, I handled my responsibilities, I showed up for my children, I did all my adulting, whatever I do. If it was a TV, a meeting I was supposed to be in that I had already gave my word in, I would do that, and then I would just sit. I would sit, lay on my bed, watch TV, didn't want to think about anything. And the sad part is because I do so much, I move around as a woman. Sorry, guys, if you're watching. As a woman, we wear multiple hats. But what happened is I'll think and say, well, I'm not lazy. I'm not ungrateful. Um, I'm just tired mentally and physically, and sometimes emotionally. And it's sad because that's where the guilt come up, because I'm thinking and saying, well, I could be doing this right now. Or I'm laying in bed and saying, well, yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that. All right, I'll just worry about it later. But I had to learn, and I'm still learning. Just because, or no, let me say this. Let me turn this around. Let me say it like this. People think like, because you're so strong, people don't expect you to need rest or to need the helping hand or the shoulder to lean on at time, because most of the times you're that person. You're that person the person is calling. You're that person that they know, like, oh, she don't know, she got it, or he got, oh, don't worry about it. But what I learned is with strength without rest, it's a total burnout. And I think with things I was going through was a burnout, because I'm not going to lie, you all. I learned, and it's supposed to be the second year we're doing this, having a sabbatical. I need to take time to literally rest and focus on me. And that's where it's been a battle. But here we go again. Like I said, all these windows are opening. And it's like one of those, no, I can't miss the beat. I got it, But what do you do to try to even balance all of those things? Because when they say, just because I'm strong doesn't mean I don't get tired. But I need to tell myself that as well, because of the guilt, right? And people say all the time, like, oh, you're doing such a good job, or when you going to rest? I remember I had an individual with all the things that I am going through, right? I had an individual. I still do a lot of helping people. I'm a servant for my community, whatever I can do. And my community is just not where I live. My community is you all. My community is this world. My community is wherever I set my feet on that ground. And I'm all about unity, sisterhood, and brotherhood, right? So somebody has said something to me, and this is why I want to go into a title. We can talk about a little segment where it's blessed and battling at the same time. Now, I know I'm kind of like going over things, but I told y'all, like, I'm going through eviction court. I got family tension. The only reason why I'm not going to go into 100% details yet is because it involves another individual. And not saying I ain't going to say, because it's blessings in the midst of this mess. But I want to be respectful. And this is one of the things that I have learned within my journey. Whenever it's time for us to tell our truth, we have to make sure that we do it in such a respectful manner that it doesn't seem like retaliation, and it doesn't seem like you're just trying to out a person, but it's a way to tell your truth and still be honest and open. And everybody is feeling respected at the end. So I know for a fact this is going to be a great story, testimony. But when I'm going through all of that I never been through, it's like, have you ever noticed how God can elevate you while you're still fighting something? It's like I said, why is my network growing while my house is unstable? I think about them things like, dang, God, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm still not financially stable yet. But God still, don't get me wrong, God still helps take care of me. People bless me. And I got testimony after testimony. A prime example I tell you all is about my window. Then I got a bigger testimony that I'm telling you all that I'll talk to you about later. Yeah, that's going to blow y'all mind, because it blew my mind. And things were looking so bad to me. So, one of the things too is, let's say, I asked was like, why am I blessed publicly while battling privately? Now, let me explain a little bit about that. Let's see. Because one of the things I learned too is you can be chosen and challenged at the same time, and elevation does not cancel warfare. And so what I took from that when I was thinking, like, okay, I battle him privately. So I'm gonna give you an example. Sometimes when you're going through, let's see the example I want to give. I had a situation, right, that I'm a community activist. And within being a community activist, people, right, and even yourself, they hold you up to a certain standard. They hold you, they kind of look at you as, I don't want to use the word or the reference like God, but in a sense that they look up to you. So if like something happened, they be like, oh my God. I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. I'm gonna say this. All right, so and y'all may not agree, but this here's the thing right here. So if I'm going through some things, right, but at this time, what people do, and so that's what kind of make you go privately at times. I think some of our leaders, because y'all be a little ruthless, okay? So I had a friend, and I had my older daughter with me, and I was dating a guy I was dating for years. And so I decided to go ahead and surprise him with a romantic night at a hotel, right? Decorated. To me, it was tasteful, wasn't freaky. It was tasteful, favorite candy, just chill, wine, candles, rose petals, chill. And so my oldest daughter was with me, and she helped me prepare the room, right? Well, when I came back, I was talking to my friend, and my friend was so mad. She was like, I cannot believe that you would bring your own daughter to something like this. And I put you on a pedestal. And I was like, why? Why put me on a pedestal? I am still human. Why? And then why are you upset with me? Because I didn't show my daughter something, somebody I wasn't dating, or it was a fling, or, I was showing just how to be romantic. That's nothing wrong with that. It was nothing sexual involved in the area of what we were doing. But that is just that's like almost an example I kind of want to give you all of how that would make you say, I'm a battle in silence. Because I don't got time to hear nobody excuse. I don't want to hear nobody's opinion, none of that, because you forget that I'm human. I think a lot of pastors go through that too, because I looked at a lot of pastors wrong sometime. And when I had a lot of church hurt until I healed from that, and I had to remind myself that they are humans too. And look where I'm at now. I'm in a position where, certain people look at me and they look up to me and they're like, baby. So I get that. But I'm learning that, here we go. It is okay to say, I am not okay. It is okay to be transparent, because I think the things that I'm saying to you guys, I know I cannot be the only one that is really going through this. I'm telling you all, I really had to think and say, and I was beating myself up. I'm like, I still haven't got my real show together yet. I haven't called my guests. I have so many people that wants to be on the show. I can put other people that was on my previous podcast on this show, because we had some conversations that we really want to have. It's really more open here. And I was beating myself up. And I forgot who I was speaking with. And they was like, isn't it your show? Just talk about what you're going through. Ain't that what you say? Conversations we don't have. Tell the truth. Speak the truth. And so that's what I'm doing, you all. I'm just telling you all what I've been going through. And I'm just like, just be honest. Now, the only thing I'm going to be honest about is a full story. But I'm going to tell you this. Why I'm talking about even battling in silence, right? I didn't really tell people that I was going through an eviction. Only certain people knew that was kind of close to me, or we were networking with, what I was going through. And so finally, I decided I'm just going to open up to you all about this. This is what I'm talking about when you're battling, because now I'm battling. I used to be homeless. Out of my life, I have been homeless 2 times, 3 times. The first time I was in love, and my mom was like, with the wrong boy. Well, he was a man. Anyway, I had to, she was like, you love him, or then you got to leave. I chose love and stupidity. And that's what started my journey. heartaches and pains in real grown-up life. And then so, and I'm gonna get emotional on this. I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm thinking, and I want to make this point of how God is still blessing you, but you're still going through trials or tribulations, right? I think the first time I had no kids when I was homeless. The second time I had 2 kids when I became homeless. The third time I had 4 kids, but God blessed me. That's how I ended up back here. Let's read this comment. 1 second. Thank you for the comment. Great day, sister. OMG, you are in my head now. Thank you. I am going through this. Yes, I am who I am and being confident in my skin. Praises go up. Praise is going up for us. No testimony without test. Amen. You are so right about that. And this is what I'm about to say right now. So, this time around, and the reason why I told you all of that, all of those times I was young. Never been through heartache, pain, life, because I was a shelter kid, preacher's guarantee. I always have to change that. And it was so crazy because my relationship with God has grown. My faith with God has grown. So this time when I was accused of somebody else's action, I got the 10 days. See, y'all didn't know this. This happened in December. I got the 10-day notice. And I said, all right. First time I told my people, I said, all right, I ain't even tripping. God got me. It's either God gonna make sure I stay or God got something else planned for me. And I got a village this time around that I know my village, someone gonna help me out. A blessing gonna come somewhere. Maybe God's telling me to do something. So I didn't know which way to go. Months went past. 3 weeks ago. We give it 3 weeks. February 23rd. Right? That's about a couple weeks ago, right? I hadn't heard from them. Going through some research, I found out that I am protected under Violence Against Women's Act. You cannot evict me. That is illegal, right? I'm protected, but maybe they can, depend on how the situation goes. So I was told, call Perry State Legal or call these legal aids, right? I called the first time. This was back in December. Their office closed. They can't help me. So I'm like, oh, here we go. I got to fight this by myself. It's just me and you, God. Maybe you finna do something. And then when I came back, when I got the notice on the 23rd of February, I decided to call again. Now, what happened was, because I did call in December and they was like, no, office closed, that still kept a record that I did contact them. So when I talked to them again and I was able to speak to a lawyer, the lawyer was like, oh, yes, you got a good case. I want it. But I don't know yet. We have to have a conversation. So that was then. I talked to a lady. Last week, yesterday, Wednesday was coming up. I hadn't heard from nobody if they was going to really represent me, what was going on. Now I am getting a little nervous. Like, okay, God. And it wasn't that I didn't have faith in God. It was of the unknown and the unseen. Here we go again, when you walk by faith, not by sight. Everybody always wants you to be so courageous. No, I'm human. If I'm walking in the dark, don't we get a little nervous? I bet even our people that used to back in the day when they didn't have no street lights and they was running through them woods. And they knew them woods from the back of their hand. Still a little nervousness because you got animals. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. But what I'm trying to say is that was still bothering me a little bit. And me trying to network and find out what to do, researching how I can win my case, I still really didn't open up to anybody about it. I was suffering in silence. And finally, when I started telling people, I did not know you was going through that. What's what they say? We really don't look like what we're going through. And so what I'm saying to you is that sometimes when we do suffer in silence, or privately, don't isolate yourself. And that means from God or your higher being, however you want to look. Don't take your eye off of him, because you got to be honest. And I lost my train of thought. And this is what's coming to me. When I started saying, all right, God, I know you say you never leave me, nor do you forsake me. But God, I ain't got no call. But what I'm going to do? Court tomorrow. They don't like me. They want to get rid of me. God, don't tell me. People don't understand. I'm like, God, don't tell me that if I lose this place, I got to go back and still be in the wilderness again, God. I thought I was getting out of there. I got this, I got that, I got this. But I'm still here. So that was me and God's conversation. Because I was like, God, I'm tired of the wilderness. Can you just give me a break? God, just give me a month. Matter of fact, give me a year of no stress. And I said that. And I said, all right, God, but whatever your will is, let your will be done. I promise you by 3:30 that afternoon, I got an email. I got a text message saying, we decided to take your case. And basically, they'll see me tomorrow. But here we go again. Thursday came out. I went to court this past Thursday, you all. And I got the information yesterday, retainer. They're going to do my whole case for free, pro bono. And I get there. And I don't see a lawyer for me. So now here I go. Oh, my God. She said they coming. I hope they coming because I don't know. I'm just fan. I was so hot, y'all. I was just hot. I was just fanning. I'm like, God, please. Walked in the courtroom, called my name up. She was on Zoom. So I was like, whoo. But as I said, they was able to do it. Say, we're going to give you a court date, to give you a trial date. And that's all until April. So that gives me even more time to be establishing my domain. So I just want to say to you all, if you do suffer in privately, don't leave God out of it. Don't leave God out of it. And if you are afraid, because it's not easy walking by faith, not by sight. I love talking about this because it's so true. And then you have to open people's eyes because we get taught how to walk by faith and not by sight wrongly. People make it seem like you're just supposed to just be this person where it's as if I'm always optimistic. And that's cool. It's people like that. But I ain't one of those. I'm an analytical thinker sometimes. So I'm like, oh, God. But remember, elevation does not mean warfare is canceled. And so let's go to this too. I want to go to this next statement about family. Boundaries without guilt. We're going to get on that, baby. And we're going to talk about family too. Family and close friends. And I'm literally going through this season. And when we come back from our small commercial break, we're going to get into boundaries without guilt. Catch you in a few.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all. Race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
All right, welcome back. I'm your girl, Kasira Elvie, aka Lady K, and this is Conversations We Don't Have, Escaping Jezebel's Web. And I left off because telling you all that I wanted to talk about some of the things that I was going through in the same sense of all the good things. So the good and the bad, they all together. And how can I try to balance that? So what I want y'all to do for me is talk to me. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me some of the things that you went through or what you experienced with being a leader. That may could be an entrepreneur. You can have your own organization. You a minister. Any type of leadership that we have where we're responsible for individuals that we have to help take care of, even in our community. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about right now is talking about the not feeling guilty of the boundaries with your family. And I want to put family and friends because I have friends that are family too. You know, we've been around so long that even though we're not blood, we're family. And so this is so hard because sometimes I think with society that we put people on, I was going to say like I'm talking about me, but we put people on pedestals, right? That have titles. And what I mean by that, you normally have like your grandparents, your mom, like normally we put them on pedestals and things like that. There are certain things that they can say that we think they can say, they can do that they can kind of get away with compared to like if our siblings probably said it or an outsider said it or, you know, certain things they can't do. Right. So like we put ourselves where we put here. Okay, let me say this. Love, honor, respect. Those are the main three things that I just believe that gives a healthy definition of true love. Because if I love you, then I respect you. If I respect you, I honor you. Right? But what happens in the boundary you share your blood when your peace is disturbed by a person that is that close to you? One of the things that I think about, forgiveness does not require access. Boundaries are not disrespect. And let me explain something. So for me, as a kid, and I think as an adult now, sometimes being more of a bolder woman this time, when I was a younger young lady, I used to feel like I had to fight to be heard. And what does that mean? If we're having a conversation, like it's about 4 or 5, or where there's more than 3 people, there'll be more than 2 people, and you all talking, and I'll be like, "Yeah, girl," and and they'll cut me off, or they don't hear me. They just keep talking like they're all talking, and so I used to have to get loud, or be like, "Hey, wait, excuse me, hiccups." So that's what I mean, kind of like when I go into sense of saying that I had to fight to be heard. Now that I'm older, right? One of the things happened. I got a couple of them, y'all. I'm just trying to pick which one is the most appropriate and effective one. What I mean by that, I think I was having a conversation with one of my siblings, and I was still trying to get some things out, and they was like, "Well, you know, you keep cutting me off, or you over talking me," and that's what I had to bring up to them. I said, "Well, I only started doing that is because you all did that to me when I was a young girl. So for me to feel respected or to be heard, I got to be raw." And what I mean by raw, meaning I got to force myself in a conversation. I have to demand, say, "Hey, I listen to y'all, listen to me. I'm trying to talk here." Those are boundaries that we have to learn. And those are simple things. If you're having a conversation, I think everybody should have allowed equal time to speak and talk, not to overtalk one another, or not to, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say minimize, or you could say minimize that person's response or thought pattern or whatever. But what I was learning and what I'm learning, because I see when older people, when my vintage people, when they like, "I don't have time, you're not going to disturb my peace." And that's where I am. And that's where it does sometimes get hard and tricky for some. It's because we have titles. Where I am now, and I'm trying to be now in my life, I don't care if you are my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my friend, my best friend. If you do not respect my boundaries, then I need to move around. And what I learned about that is because sometimes people could put you in a space where they make you be a rah-rah, right? And I was just thinking about that, and I was like, I'm tired of doing this and doing that. And then it just clicked one day. It was like, well, why you keep letting them be in your circle then? And I was like, you're absolutely right. So now, even in the season I am in, if you do not respect me, if you do not respect my boundaries, I don't want to be around you. And some say, no, family is family. You got to forgive. You got to still be around. That's your family. No, because if you was my real family and you really love me, you would respect me. I have literally right now, multiple days, this conversation I talk about. I had a brother, and we were talking. No, I think in my siblings, I think I'm really the neutral one. I really don't have no issues. We don't have issues, Caddy. I mean, we siblings. Okay, so if you have siblings, you understand. Especially siblings if you didn't grow up in the same household with them. My papa was a Rolling Stone. But I think we talked about something, and he got offended. And then it started hollering. And I was like, you know what, bro? Hey, my bad. If I said anything to upset you, my bad. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just being real. And he didn't like that. He was still going off. And then he hung up on me. And I was like, oh. See, me, I feel like if I give respect, I demand my respect because I'm a respectful person. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I want people to feel wanted and welcome. But when you do it to me multiple times, oh, that's out the door. And so I tried to say to my brother, I said, bro, you hung up on me? Wow. Like, I don't disrespect you like that. I don't do that toxicity type of situationships anymore. And so my brother was like, look, man, you tripping. I don't care about all that. All I care about what I'm trying to get done. Basically what he was saying. And I was like, no. I deserve an apology. And if you cannot respect me or love me the way I deserve to be loved, then I won't be around you. I won't be bothered. And that's things that we have to do. I have other people that have high titles. And I'm like that now. Cut you off. My cutoff game ain't the best, but it's growing. And this is what me saying, you all. You can still love people and still not let them hurt you. And that's where I was at with my brother. Like, bro, still love you, still be around you, but you have to know you cannot do that to me. And let me explain why I was saying that to me, because saying that is because I went through an abusive marriage. I went through toxicity relationships. I've seen, not in my household, but I've seen unhealthy relationships. I don't want to live that no more. I feel like I did the work. I feel like I healed. And I feel like I have enough boldness to say, this is not where I want to be and what I want to do. And I am responsible for my environment. If I'm around somebody that brings me anger, hurt, or pain, or sadness, then you the fool. Because you ain't got to be around them. We have free will to do whatever we want to do. When that free will, you need to choose you need to choose you. And that's one of my ladies said. I love her. Because especially if you are a servant, you are a leader, we always doing for the other or the better good, right? So with me saying that, I had to learn to say, choose you. A lot of us don't choose us. Choose you. And once you choose you, whoever is around you that don't see it or receive it or respect it, they're not supposed to be around you. Now, I'm going to be 100% real right now, too. There's a lot of people in my life that I'm trying to hold on to. Hey, yo, you ain't come to see me. Hey, yo, you ain't call me. Hey, yo, what's going on, y'all? And they're not receiving it. You just got to let it go. Sometimes we hold on to people and hold on to things that is already from God telling us to removing it from us or telling you to let it go. Your life shows that. I'm telling you right now, it was very hard for me. I live in Kankakee, Illinois. All of my people, as us Kankakeeans call it, lives up north in the south suburbs or Chicago. Me and my children still travel a lot to Chicago. When I say, hey, y'all don't come to see me, come see me. Oh, well, you know you live far. Do you think that's fair? if an individual like me that know I live far, and here's the thing, I didn't move out here because I just wanted to live in Kankakee and I just wanted to get away from people. I didn't move out here because this is just a dreamland. I moved out of here because I was leaving an abusive marriage and I was homeless, and baby, no one could help me but the person that got me here. So why would a person that people that say they love you do not come and just spend time with you when you sacrifice and do the same for them? That is the part what I'm talking about. Setting boundaries and not feeling guilty. I have to say, okay, if you won't come see me, okay, if I'm not that important, then I need to move around, because God will put people in your lives that will fill that void. My community out here, they kind of get on my nerves right now, but my community friends and family out here, they love me. We support one another. You know, they see my vision. They're trying to change. And God replaced the people that were missing, but I didn't want to really accept that. And this is another thing that I had said. When in my Bible said, God said, I am the great I am, right? So I'm like, all right, God, you're the great I am. That means he is everything you need him to be. Do we see God? No. Do we feel him? I can feel him, I think, me personally. But when I took that words and I was going through some things, going through this season, because all this season, I barely had people come out here. And at the time, I didn't really want to be on the phone with nobody. That was a struggle for me. But no one, I'm not going to say no one. Well, let me think about it. Who came that I deal with to visit me when I was going through my storm? Yeah, no one. So the people that live here. Can't think. But anyway, the point I'm making is, when I was thinking this in my zone and God was saying, I was thinking that God said, God, you say I'm the great I am. God said I would be everything that you need me to be. And when I thought about it, the people that I was lacking, missing, God sent them. And I'm going to give another example. We're talking about children that probably in foster care, children that probably was able to be adopted. I'm just giving something that you probably really understand. They didn't choose their parents, right? They lost their parents, but let's say God placed them with some good adopted parents. Let's say God placed them in a good foster home. God filled that void, and those people were able to grow up and be successful. So with all that being said, it may hurt sometimes that we may want mother, parents, or certain siblings or friends you grew up with that you thought you would always be friends with for the rest of your life. We have to be accepted to know that if they're not there, then God is going to fill that void. And that ain't easy. I ain't going to lie, y'all. There are people that I thought would be in my life for years. And now I'm sitting here and it's like, but God. But it's also said too that everybody can't go where you're going. And sometimes, sadly to say, you got to say bye. Or you have to stop. If a person cannot accept you're saying, hey, this hurts me. I don't like this. What can we do to change it? And that person just blow it off? That's toxic. Leave it alone. Move around. God will replace that person that was missing in your life. And I bet once you leave, they gonna miss you. So, like I said, we will not bleed just to prove we love that individual that is not respecting our boundaries. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say this. I will not bleed to prove I love you. And that's not always easy, especially for me, and I'm a people pleaser. But sometimes I feel like it's time for people to please me. No, I'm just talking. But I've had situations, I ain't gonna lie. We'll get into that because these are conversations we don't have. And I'm really not scared, in a scared way to tread lightly. I just still don't want to offend people, but I still want to talk about the things I've been going through that has been hurting me, even in the process of me growing. It's like growing pains. I like that. Growing pains. I have growing pains. Never been through this before. Matter of fact, when I say that too, I'm walking into a season of being an elder. I'm walking in a season of where my body and my mind and my thinking are changing. I'm not a young girl anymore. I'm a beautiful older woman, wise. That's a lot too. And what I mean by my body changing, premenopause, menopause coming, hot flashes. Oh my God, my mood changing. I'm grouchy one minute, happy the next sometimes. It's so much. And ooh, that's another side right there we can talk about, y'all. Growing pains. Growing pains, what we do not talk about. I really want to talk about that. Growing pains. I got to find another person to do that. I had a, when I first found out about premenopause, I had 2 shows. And it was so crazy because one of my best friends and one of my cousin-in-laws, they were talking about it one day. Well, really, my cousin-in-law called me, and she was just talking about what she had went through, how she felt it would be a good topic. And I was like, girl, this is why I'm this. This is why I'm not. And this is before I really knew, like, I probably could be going through premenopause because my body was changing. My cycle was changing. My mood swings was changing. It was like, why is this little, like, it could be a little commercial. I get mad. What the heck? Or I see something, a commercial, and I want to cry. Like, oh my God. Like, it's all over the place. We don't talk about those things. And I'm talking about, I want to say in the Black community because, and I'm speaking just off of my experience, by the way. I have to pretty say that because I don't want nobody to say, you think you know. No, I don't know. I'm just going off what I feel. And if you know something better, you can correct me. And you got the facts, and I don't mind changing my thoughts. But I don't remember my grandmother, my mother, my aunts talking to me about the change. All I remember, well, I don't think most of my grandmother and my mom really go to, but like other family members, like, girl, I'm hot. Oh, this menopause. Girl, I be having night sweats and all this, and I don't understand. But you could prepare me. My grandma, I remember hearing my grandmother tell somebody, yeah, just make sure you take more vitamin E. I didn't have to deal with that. I was taking my vitamin E. I was taking this. We need to share those things. Those holistic doctors, people that like to do things the natural way. I have friends, and my friends got to pray for me because I am not a healthy eater. Unfortunately, I am, but I'm not. I tell people I like Black people vegetables. That's greens, cabbage, green beans, string. And that's not good because most of them ain't real vegetables that'll help you. But we're in a season, I feel that a lot of people really want to start doing natural things, going back to our roots. Because I also remember when I had to go to Mississippi and I had a little sniff when my grandma gave me some castor oil and some, was it baking soda, honey, or something like that? Whatever it was some thicky paste stuff I didn't want to taste. But baby, I bet you I felt good the next day. I talk to my kids now, laughing. I got aloe vera juice, and I remember my mom where we said, oh, I feel this way, my nose, or she knew I got a cold. Go drink you some aloe vera juice. And that was the thing. Go drink some aloe vera juice. And now my kids like, oh my God, Mom, no, I'm about to vomit. And I'm like, go. Oh, Mama, go drink some aloe vera juice. So funny how we turn around and start doing things. But we need to get back into really talking about those type of things. Because it's going to prepare. I mean, I think the real season that we're in is the fact that we're being more knowledgeable about our roots. We're being more knowledgeable, or we're being more open and transparent about even going through like family's dark secrets or people that was violated and you still kept your mouth closed. Now we're a little more bolder. And in this generation, my kids' generation, it's a good thing, but a bad thing because some of them don't have no morals, honors, or respect. Some of them think that you could just talk to, they can talk to you. And that's how I'm getting older too. They're like, don't talk to me like you my equal. But in reality, somebody said, but they are your equal. They're grown adults too. And I was like, no, baby. No, they ain't. Hold on. I got somebody talking to me again. Oh, yes, Deborah. I love you. She's like, yes, growing pains. Some folks don't want to face. Even your wardrobe is not as it was 20 years ago. Yes, your style may be, but what I do. But why do people still have the same conversation as 20? Ooh, I promise you, I think my godmother was having a conversation last night and we were saying that how people still be stuck on stuff that happened 50, 20 years ago. Why we still having that same conversation? When do we get over it? Or, matter of fact, I was in yesterday too, the last day. I would tell y'all this, so funny. So I was blessed to, somebody gave me this coat. I call it the sheepdog coat because it got like the sheepdog and it's real long. And I'm like, oh my God, this is cute. I love it. Then I started laughing. Like, I think I remember my mama tried to buy me a coat. Somebody tried to give me that coat when I was young. I was like, this is ugly. I would never wear that. And I was like, look how look how your idea of how you envision yourself to dress changes for real. And I wear glasses, which I should have on. And so I have the chain. And so one of my close friends was laughing at me. It was like, you know what? You was old. And I was like, what? I feel like a sexy librarian with my little chain. And back in the day, I would talk about that and laugh and be like, I will not wear that. And look, so yeah, I do believe that. I do. But let me get back to something else I want to tell you all. What I want to talk about too. And I know I mentioned this earlier, but I want to bring up some of the points that I had previously. And that was like, when you ask God to just breathe. And remember I was telling you, like, I was really asking God, like, I'm tired of going through this, God. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Don't you hear we got to say that? If it ain't one thing, it's another. Tired of that. You know, I get God, just give me 6 months. Matter of fact, spring and summer coming. Baby, give me a good time. I done lost some weight. I want to be outside, give me some vitamin D, just smiles and be around positive people and just have a good time and let all of my business and everything grow and just have a good time. And that's what, but what if they would say, with all that breathing and saying, okay, I see my points I made, and I got to make that point because that is so true. When me talking about God, give me breath. And even in the midst of me asking God to give me a break, give me a break, break me up a piece of that Kit Kat bar. That's how I feel about my commercial right now. God, just give me a break. Let me enjoy. But no, even in the process of that, I did not quit. I did not quit. So with all that being said, let me tell you this, and this is a part of my speech that I'm telling. I have a speech I got to say to my family. And one of the things that I said, if you got out of the bed, you brush your teeth, if you washed your face, that was a step, that was progress. Don't beat yourself up if the weight of the world is on you. Because when you are weak, he is your strength. So if you was able to get out that bed, as many days I didn't want to, I got out, that means I was still pressing forward, continuously to press forward. One step, I love when I said that. One step is progress. And that's what I did. Don't beat yourself up. Lean on your community too. We're not talking about the ones that ain't talked to you in weeks and don't know what's going on with your life. We're talking about the ones that see you every day, that purposely communicate with you to make sure, okay, purposely sending you out a text message. Even the ones that want to do it and really for real can't do it, let's say someone that's overseas or whatever. It's some that really would want to be there and do for you that they can't. A prayer goes a long way. Sometimes they can't do, they pray for you, right? So with all that being said, do not quit. I said that already. Look, I'm looking at my notes, y'all, because some of this stuff, I was really like loving this. And I want to say this and leave this with you all that I had. And I said, I may be tired. I may be healing. I may be fighting battles you don't see, but I have not quit. If you're blessed but tired too, don't quit. This is the truth. And today, the truth is, it's hard sometimes, but we're still here. That speaks volume to me. You are still here. If you wake up and you see the ceiling, take that one step. Take that one step. And remember, you are not alone. Sometimes I feel God puts me in a position or in a place and a time where no one can reach me or I can't reach anyone. And that's because he wants me to reach him. And when I do, things begin to change and shift. Make sure you set boundaries. You do not feel guilty, no matter who and what the title holds. You deserve respect, love, and honor. You respect the same love that you get. Now, if you're a little grouchy, something, maybe you getting what you deserve too. But hopefully we can change that, because I know, even with me at times going through this, I have to try to keep my anger subdued, if we want to say that. And that means because sometimes we want to act out because these are the people that hurt us. But it is okay, because the great I am will fill that void. Now, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope this helped people. My thing is, there are so many conversations. I mean, my girl Asada, she said something, and then I know Naima said the same thing, and I'm like geek on these topics. They're gonna talk about baby, but we're gonna talk about growing pains. So I love that. It's deep. But anyway, if you feel like you have a topic that you would like to talk about, if you feel like you want to be a guest on this show, please make sure that you contact me. My contact information is on the bottom of the screen. I want to say thank you all for being patient with me. Thank you for still supporting me. And if you've been around me for 3 years, you know it's good. It's just life be lifing. So thank you for accepting me. And contact me. Want to be a guest on the show? I mean, we had last month when I was on here, we had some good topics about, and I really want to talk about people that family. I think that's one of the things that we really need to talk about, family, and how to deal with family. Like we say, how to love a person and not be around them and not make them make you feel guilty. So we're gonna talk about that. Just pulling out some other stuff, you guys. Let me get some stuff out of there for you. But really ain't got much else to say. Just that I love y'all. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to the Female Solutions and my new sisters that I have built in the community with them. They have been very open, and I mean, they have been very accepting and understanding with me. And that's what motivates me also to keep pushing, keep going. And, you know, don't give up. I'm your girl, Kasira Elvie, AKA Lady K. Conversations we don't have. Escape at Jezebel's Web. I air every second and fifth Saturday of the month. Catch you next month. Make sure you have a great month. I speak blessings and favor and peace upon you. Mwah. Peace out.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.